Hello everyone, welcome to another session with me, Varun on Tech Tablet. In this video, we will be talking about the next part of machine learning interview questions, right? We will be continuing forward from where we stopped exactly. So the agenda would be to understand the technical questions of machine learning, right? And as you all might have known by now, I started with SAP back, moved into UI5, then into YouTubing, then started making rap videos, which is my passion. I rap in English, Hindi, and Telugu. And if you have not checked that, you should probably check out this channel too. And I also work as a data science trainer. Now, going forward into the questions, the first one that I have is, what does the fit method do in SVM with R and Python? Well, it simply trains. Okay, fit method, not just for SVM, you can probably remember this for every, question. It basically, collects the data and it computes and, it comes up with predictions. Okay, now in order to come up with predictions, your model has to be first fit to the train and then a machine learning algorithm is applied to it. All right, so this part is very essential if you really are looking forward to apply machine learning algorithm and take it forward. Okay, so this is the answer to your first question. If my data set has more than two independent variables, then how do I plot my visualization? Well, now that's a tremendous question. Well, in this case, you could not actually do it because one independent variable corresponds to one dimension. So if you have eight variables, then you would have to create eight plots, or you would have to create a plot in eight dimensions, which is not possible. So this is the reason why we use dimensionality reduction method. Okay, dimensionality reduction is completely a different set of algorithms that we have, wherein we try to reduce the number of variables by removing those which are unnecessary, or by keeping the ones which are actually important. And this happens through some advanced calculations. So if you can manage to reduce this to a 2D plot, then it should not be a problem. Or else, I don't think you can come up with eight dimensions in one plot. Or the other option is to break them down and to probably check individually. This is the only best option that I can see. The third one is, how do I get different results in Python and R? Like how? Like why? All right. So here there are a lot of factors. Again, the answers may numerically be a bit different, but they're not wrong. Now, what happens? Like how are any answers generated? Well, this is because of the fact that the random factors in the model can be the first. Like I've set a random state of 10 here and random state of 2 there, so we'll have different numbers. The different default values of hyperparameters is also important. Okay, mostly they are the same, but just in case. And there are also slight differences in algorithm across Python and R. Again, this may be 2.3 and that may be 2.35 or 2.4. So when values, a lot of values like these get multiplied or get added, get subtracted, divided, and then you have an answer, you would notice that there happens to be a minute difference between each other. Now, in kernel SVM intuition, what exactly are we trying to do in high dimensional spaces in 3D back to 2D? Now, that is because we need to go back to our original space. So this conversion is required. Okay, if you are like if you raised your dimension and you decided to be in 3D space, then you are losing out on a lot of information because this is not your original dimension, right? But rather this is just a projection of them. It is like they're being projected onto something which is higher. So you actually want to go back to your originality and then evaluate a model when you're trying to project them onto any value. Which kernel would you want to choose when you're working on SVM? Again, this is something that comes to us generally by practice, but a good way to decide is to make a lot of models. Okay, and then you would want to evaluate each of them. Again, this is an indirect answer, which is trying to say you try and you fail and then you succeed. It's a try and error method. All right. And here, when you're doing, you would be, doing k-fold cross validation, which we'll be seeing in, talking about in video 10 again, okay, in depth. And then you would also want to consider the different matrices like accuracy, F1 score, precision, recall, etc. We have a lot of matrix, right? So you may want to choose from one of them. Now, how do you predict the outcome of a single observation in SVM with Python? In order to do that, here, as you can see, you have predict transform NP array, and you can give your values here. And this is done by using the method predict. Okay, so whenever you do this using SC, that is standard scalar. Okay, because we need to scale our values in the model. So if you can do this, then you would notice that you will have predictions for a single observation in Python. How to know easily with R? This is again about R, it's not Python. If the data set available is linearly or non-linearly separable. Okay, now if it is a regression problem, you make multiple regression models with all your independent variables included. But if it is classification, then you make a logistic regression model. But then you would make a logistic regression model only if it is binary, split. Then you can use, the summary function in R to see the statistical significance of your independent variables. Now here, if some of them have a significance with very small values, then your data set is likely to be linearly separable. If not, then it is not. Okay. So these are some ways. Again, this is not the only way. There are a lot of methods which you can probably, use. But yeah, this is one of the methods that we have available. The ninth one is we predicted the outcomes of an observation. All right. But then how do we predict it for a single observation? Again, this is probably the same, similar kind of a question that we have here. Okay. But then let's see, what's another way available. So here I'm considering two values, that is age and an estimated salary of, 50,000. And I'm using a single observation from my data frame where I'm considering the age is equal to 13, estimated salary of 50,000. I mean, the same values are being used or put up in a data frame. And then I'm using predict, all right. And this single observation, which is the variable here, is being given as the data in the predict. Again, the same values are the ones which uh, you have at the top or at the bottom too. So yeah, this is how we work on these values. All right. So I hope you understood. Thanks a lot for your patience, and please do not forget to share and subscribe. And if you kind of like these videos and you're looking for something more technical, then please feel free to reach out to me on my Instagram, that is Hyderabadi_Chur, or probably Varun_Gemini at yahoo.com. And I would be more than glad to assist you in your journey. Thank you very much, and you have a great day.